they're more powerful than us is they know more than we do, and they won't share that information with us. You know what I'm saying? But once everybody knows the information they've been hiding, then what good are they? You know, and what control can they have? Nobody will give a shit anymore. You know?
And who has access to the technology finally?
Exactly. You know, and you know, I've been reading a lot about like the Area 51 stories of interaction, and I read the new Serpo documents with the one guy who got killed. You know, he went at the I think they called it the Gate 13 incident or something like that, or the Gate 3 incident.
Yeah.
Where one of the ETs escaped, J-Rod, the one they called J-Rod, you know, enticed a clone into leaving the facility that they were doing testing on and shit.
Yeah.
And they said they made the guy implode. That the only thing they found of him was one that was intact was an eyeball. The rest of them were in little pieces smaller than coins. But basically, what I'm getting at is they say that they do interact with extraterrestrial races, right? That Area 51 does. And part of the reason why they're saying is that the ETs came to them, these kinds of ETs came to them, is because they were the only ones who could facilitate them and cater to their sort of, you know, because they said, you know, on Earth's atmosphere that some of them can't survive. They can't be out in the open air for too long because then they start getting fatigued, and it's like almost as if they can't breathe. It's almost like a human on top of the highest mountain. You know, the air's really thin. You can hardly breathe. You know, you have to like do certain things certain ways, and they according to some of their stories, it kind of works for some of these ET races like that, where, you know, they kind of have to stay in their ships or be in a very controlled environment that caters to their needs. And Area 51 is a place that can do that, but the thing is they jail you up. And then the other thing is what I'm realizing too, Bart, is there's a lot of big preemptives on their part. You know, like
There's a what?
preemptive strike type situations.
Yeah.
Where, because from what I understand, they have this thing down there that they call Looking Glass, where it's basically this machine that was supposedly given to them by ETs that enables them to look into the future. It doesn't allow them to travel to the future physically. It only lets them look at it and view it, right?
Yeah.
And the way I'm looking at it is they don't like what they see, right? So they're trying to do something preventative, preemptively, to prevent what it is they see.
Right.
And they think they can make the change. No. I don't know. My wife just threw me off.
It's a looking glass. They can't change the future. They can only see it.
Well, they're trying to change it. Every time they see something they don't like the money system going away. Remember that guy in Project Camelot? I think
Gordon Novell.
Yeah. Like, he talked about it, and like I said, like, they saw there being no money system, and they saw it as a problem. They saw that as something bad or negative. So they're trying to take what they think would be the necessary steps to prevent that now. You know what I'm saying? And they see it as, oh, we're going to lose control, and blah, 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 and, you know, we're not going to be powerful anymore, and we're not going to be rich, and so they see it as like a problem. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to do things to prevent it.
Paradox.
Right. Yeah, but see, it's to me, it has nothing to do with paradox, man. It has to do with action and results. For every action, there's a reaction. for every action, there's a result. And that's all it is results. Now, people call it a paradox because they think, well, they did all this preventative stuff to make it not happen, but yet it happens anyway, so it's a paradox. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, the grandfather theory. If you kill your grandfather, you won't live, exist, or whatever. And that's like, that's one shitty little reference for that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, like, action, to me, it's just simply actions, like I said, if somebody was stupid enough, if somebody could actually time travel and go back and kill their grandfather just to see if they disappear, like Michael J. Fox on Back to the Future.
Yeah.
When his parents weren't kissing at the fish under the sea dance, and he started fading away while he was playing guitar. That's, for people to believe in that is so, like, cheesy. You know what I mean? And to me, if somebody was stupid enough to do that, somewhere down the line, they're going to go back and prevent it anyway. And it's that simple. and they don't realize that when they look in the future and they take certain actions, that they're actually reinforcing the future by taking those actions. That's why I said back a while back that some of the bad guys had to be left alone because it would alter the future in a bad way. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I said, like, if any of my visions or memories serve me correctly, a lot of people they reinforced stuff by trying to prevent it. Like I don't know. I guess the bottom line of what I'm trying to get to is that shit's on top of, that stuff is being, I don't know if I should say taken care of or, it's being monitored. It's being watched. Like, like if Area 51 people, if they think they're watchers, they don't realize that there's watchers watching them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But see, I don't even know what to call them anymore, man. I think controller still suits it best. And I don't know. Just waiting for the change, man. Just tired of it.
I want to share some stuff that I posted last night on ATS that made me think of you. I did another two-part post.
Okay. I'm going there now.
Okay.
Yeah, you read.
It's toward the bottom of page 55. It's right above. It's part 2 of 2, right above the last post, and that the last one's Duckster's post.
Yeah, I see. You want me to go straight to part 1 or part 2?
Part 2.
Okay. I'm there.
Read the external quotes.
Well, let me just read the beginning of it so I know how you got there. It said, I also wanted to share a little bit of a post from another board that seems to have the same tone and message as Time Drifter. A poster at Godlike Productions named Lyran Starseed says the following in a thread I feel was started by one of the folks spreading negative disinfo. I feel Lyran Starseed's post correlated with Time Drifter's experiences, memories. However, and then here's the text from Lyran Starseed. Some of what this alleged NSA/DOD dude says is true. We are inbound.
I'll tell you what the post was about. There's somebody who claims they were inside with the NSA or DOD said that within the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks, I can't remember the specifics, that there will be a craft about 5 miles wide that will appear in, I think he said, I don't know if this is the right term, geosynchronous orbit or near-Earth orbit, and he said that it's not a friendly ET, and he warns people to stay indoors or be wary of this craft. But I call those kind of little posts when they put a negative spin on things, drive-by prognostications. I just thought of that this morning. It's pretty funny. But that's kind of what they're doing. They come in, they make this sort of fear, this sort of post. We sort of post to incite fear, and then they disappear. No background, no credentials, no credibility. They just they make these posts and then disappear.
Gotcha.
So anyway, Lyric Darcy is commenting on that, guys.
They're inconsistent. They're inconsistent. They come and go. Like me, like me and you, we're consistent. We're, every time you come looking for us, you find us.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Go on with what you're saying.
No, that's all. I was going to say, Lyrian Starcy was commenting on that guy's statements about this craft. So read what Lyrian says. I only took an excerpt from his post.
Yeah. I'm reading it.
Okay, I'll read it. You want to read it aloud?
Yeah, you read it. You read it.
All right, he says, some of what the alleged NSA DOD dude says is true. We are inbound. We will accomplish our objectives. We will not, what's that? We will not be diverted nor destroyed, and we possess hyperdimensional technologies that are far superior to any of the negative ET direct that inhabit this planet at this time. It has taken a lot of work to eradicate many of the negative forces in the multiverse and bring down the multidimensional warlord criminals who have been holding us hostage on this planet for eons of time. We come with healing technologies and have absolutely no desire to hijack Earth, allow blue beam to happen, or harm innocent folks. We're after a specific group of high-level criminals who have dug themselves in, misused various technologies, and caused untold and to-be-revealed atrocities against humans and other sentient peaceful life on this planet. After this, the ongoing parties, the healing, the restoration of the planet, the restoration of abundance for all, the feeding and healing of the hungry and the homeless, etc., shall commence at a quantum rate. You will recognize us as yourselves, as they say, for only a small fraction of you who you are resides in these earthly containers. Exciting times are ahead. And then I took another excerpt. We can segregate people into protected dimensions while necessary. The NSA, CIA, FBI, DOD idiots are shitting pants right now because there's nothing they can do. There have been many battles, both galactic, physical, and verbal, about how to handle the situation. The objective is personal freedom, sovereignty, equality, and freedom of choice for all. This is not a police activity of any sort, nor is this a state of emergency for anyone other than those who have illegally raped and tortured Earth and her peoples for eons of time. We give bonus points to folks who are willing to come out and talk. We can teleport those of you who are in danger to safety. There is nothing to fear. And mark my words, marijuana shall be made legal, and we will all be smoking, chilling, and hanging and partying, healing, and re-educating ourselves based on truth that is holographically and experientially provable, and there's nothing that these assholes can do to stop it. We have won.
Nice. Who said this?
They're pretty cool.
Lyrian Starseed?
Yeah, the link is there. Right
it's a he? How do you know it's a he? Because you said he.
Well, it sounds like a he.
Okay.
Actually,
wait,
let's
wait. Well, yeah, I was gonna say that. Well, let's go back on that one sentence there. And mark my words, marijuana shall be made legal, and we will all be a smoking and a chilling and a hanging and a partying. I'm telling you, bro. See, and all right, so. Let's use my my preemptive strike theory on this, right?
Yeah.
So if Area 51 was alive and kicking back in the early 1940s or 50s, right? And if they were visited by ET that sort of gave them this looking glass back then, and they knew weed was going to be legal and it was a part of their dismantling of control, then that's why they made weed legal 50 years ago, because they figured, fuck that, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they go around teaching people that it's evil because it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? And you should, you know what? If you get a chance, throw up a link to my book, to my legalized marijuana book. If you go to my site, if you just for the people listening, if you go to my site ufotimetravel.com, I have a link to download my book, my ebook for free, my first book called My Abduction and Time Travel Experience. There's a link under the picture that says view or listen to the book online. If you click that link, it'll go to my, you'll see my book and you'll see a link to my profile. It says Renato. You click on my profile, it'll show you all my books. Look at my book that says Why Marijuana Should Be Legal. And I think you chances are you'll agree with me no matter where you stand right now on the law. Whether you think the law is right or wrong, I believe you will agree with me that the law right now is wrong. Even if you go in reading it thinking, this guy's full of shit, at least give it a read. I impressed Bart, which says a lot.
No, you had a very solid argument.
Isn't it? It's simple,
Yeah.
really. If you put marijuana up against, if you put illegal marijuana up against legal alcohol, and you do a side-by-side comparison on which one has more negative effects, clearly alcohol wins. It has way more negative things to it than marijuana does. And then the second part of my argument is money. If money is the ruler of this world, then why are we letting it go? Why is billions of dollars in revenue being passed up? And why are we spending money to enforce a law that makes no sense? Because, you know what? The way I see it is they got to hear it from their terminology. Let's talk about money then. Let's talk about, they seized let's say they seized 750,000 pounds of weed in a certain year, right? It's all in my book, man, I'm telling you. If let's say, let's make it a round number. Let's say they seized 1 million pounds of weed one year, right? That means that they just totally blocked a potential, like, $4 billion business right there. That could have generated millions or billions of dollars in tax revenue to help our country to build better schools, to build better facilities, and whatnot. And plus it would bring about economic growth, and not the opposite. And people say, yeah, that would turn our country into a bunch of lazy, good-for-nothing, do-nothings. No, those are the drunks, assholes. Those are the people who fucking drink. Potheads. How many fucking potheads are well accomplished out there? If you look for a list of people who smoke pot, they're fucking entertainment people, innovators, fucking professors.
Presidential candidates.
Word.
Presidents.
So, and nobody, you know what it is? I watched, so far I've seen 2 congressional hearings about legalizing marijuana, and it was basically lawyers trying to make it legal for their clients who were usually cancer patients. So they were completely and solely focusing on just legalizing it for medical use, and that's it. They weren't looking at the money-making aspect. They weren't looking at, they were totally just focused on medical, right?
Yeah.
And they spun off a little. I remember the one where the guy showed a mock commercial for Marigold cigarettes. And it's just funny it says that. So I didn't mean to go on such a long tirade about legalizing weed, but I agree.
Actually, I want to share the Controlled Substances Act of 1970 classifies marijuana as a Schedule I drug, meaning it has a high potential for abuse and no accepted medical use.
Oh, and who's the acceptors?
I know research and experience has proven the exact opposite.
Right. Exactly, man. It's just unreal.
It says,
and that's the other thing. I don't think there should be a hearing to Congress to make it legal. I think somebody needs to actually sue the government, take them to Supreme Court, and sue the government for a bunch of reasons. And the foremost one would be defamation of character. for example, people who fail their drug tests to get a job. So it's A-okay for some drunk, wife-beaten, kid-beaten guy to get a job, but a peaceful pot smoker can't because he smokes pot. But it's A-okay for the drunken idiot to get his fucking job. That's A-okay. And you know how they say pot leads to bigger drugs? I beg to differ. I have two friends that I confirmed it with them that when they were drunk, they tried sniffing coke. When they were drunk, they tried smoking fucking heroin. When they were drunk, they took fucking pills. Not when they were smoking weed, when they were fucking drunk. So backslap that across your face, lawmakers.
It says controlled substances, of which marijuana is one, are divided into 5 schedules or classes on the basis of their potential for abuse, accepted medical use, and accepted safety under medical supervision. Substances in Schedule 1 have a high potential for abuse, no accredited medical use, and lack of accepted safety. From Schedules 2 to 5, substances decrease in potential for abuse.
Yep. And
so they're saying...
And look at the pill industry then. So...
Yeah.
Look at the pharmaceutical industry and pills. Now, what's one of the biggest pills that gets sold on the streets today? Vicodins?
Vicodins, OxyContin.
Right, okay. Now, how come these metal companies aren't being held accountable for their missing pills? If they produce a bazillion pills a year, and only X amount goes to the pharmacies, where's the rest of them going? They're going to the street. And what, they're slipping through the cracks? You're telling me their security systems aren't good enough to let big, huge bottles of pills go out the door and get sold on the streets? Please.
I mean, what about all those pills that they have the commercials for that have that grocery list of side effects, negative side effects?
Yep.
You know what I mean, including death.
Yeah, take this fucking hard-on pill, and you'll get a hard-on for 3 hours. But the side effects are is you might have a heart attack, you might lose feeling in one of your arms.
Or the sleep aids that warn of seizure or stroke or blackout.
Coma.
I know.
As long as you're willing to accept those risks, it's an awesome drug.
Yeah.
It only happened to one person out of 100 that we tested.
Yeah, only a few.
Everybody, for the most part, it got positive results.
You could die, but it also could help you sleep better. It's kind of like Russian roulette, isn't it? It's just like putting a bullet in the chamber and then just hoping you get a good night's sleep most of the time.
Unbelievable. Well, hey, man, I'm just glad this guy said it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he says more. I'm at the thread here. I'll read a little bit more about what he says.
Definitely.
He said, some of you are waking up now as to who you were, why you're here, and what you've agreed to do. Your contracts with the lake can always be amended. We have deprogrammed and trained the Montauk Boys and other Starseed operatives and have put a halt to the Illuminati Janus End Times programming. We come with healing technologies and have absolutely no desire to hijack Earth. We've already read that. We have infiltrated all of the Earth's computer and satellite systems. We have done this before when necessary and are well-versed in rescuing entire systems from these bastards. This is not a religious issue, but an issue of restoring personal, planetary, and system-wide sovereignty and peace. And there's absolutely nothing these pansies and the various alphabet soup organizations or military can do to stop this process from proceeding.
See, that again, man, remember in the beginning of our interviews, like 6 months ago, how I was talking about satellites and I mean, I still talk about it, but how basically everything can be taken over, every single thing that can be broadcast over a TV, radio, CB, you name it.
Yeah.
That kind of falls in line with what I'm saying. Like that's basically saying, he said, we can take over at any time. You know, we can say, oh, you're not watching this channel. It's ET channel today. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and we're not talking
Yeah.
Entertainment Tonight either. Or actually, that's a pretty wild irony right there, isn't it? You know, that show E.T. Entertainment Tonight,
Yeah.
and on the day of the mass, whatever you want to call it, mass landing, mass appearance, mass contact. You know, on that day, that's what it's going to be like. It's nuts.
He said about the people who are willing to come out and talk, he says, we can look at reference relationship trees of individuals, trace organizational hierarchies, find terrorist cells, mind control handlers, blow away or reprogram satellites and central computers, go to any dimension in any underground base, and bypass any security quite transparently. We can literally walk into the bodies of others and cause them to change their ways as necessary. We can teleport those of you who are in danger to safety.
Nice. I like this guy. What else you got here? Yeah, you talked a lot about Ed Rose. I've noticed that, Bart, that you've taken a big interest in what he says. I mean, I'm very interested myself. I mean, I'm kind of like still almost dumbfounded at the fact that we have such close stories. You know?
I know.
And because I just noticed, I think you have another one from him, a quote from him. Oh, no, you just mentioned him.
Another story?
No, it says, I read the above post from this member and immediately thought of Time Drifter. I also thought about Edward Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Edward Rose isn't his real last name, though, right? He just says Rose because of Axl Rose?
No, I think that's his real name. He says it on his MySpace page.
Oh, okay.
Which I actually think I linked there. He says, my name is Edward Francis Slayton Jr. I was born and raised in the U.S. of A. So he's Edward Francis Slayton, but he's calling himself Edward F. Rose.
Right. Yeah, because I read his thing. I think he used, because of Axl Rose, he made his last name Rose, you know, and he even says, I don't really care what my name is. Something like that. It's on one of his pages. I don't know if it's MySpace or, I'm pretty sure it's MySpace, or his website. I forget what it's called. I don't know. You make it so easy to get there. You have all the links. Should I address the Duckster?
Yeah, you have her post there in front of you.
I see within the year 0708. Oh boy, where do I start? Aliens bombardment of meteors, mass exodus underground. I hope to all that's holy that I'm wrong. So she just keeps coming and painting really dark, yucky pictures, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she says that this post is a recurring dream that she's having.
Yeah. And sorry, honey, my concert's not gonna happen. Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm still annoyed with her for saying that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Especially with the condescending "sorry, honey." That just had to be added in there, didn't it?
Yeah.
She
I
could.
don't know if
She couldn't say, "Oh well, I don't see any concerts happening in my head." You know, that would have been more straightforward to me. But it had to be like, "Sorry, honey, I don't mean to let you down, but you know, your concert, that little concert thingy, it's not gonna happen, buddy." You know.
Yeah. I wonder if she's had any dreams that have come to pass.
Yeah. Thanks.
Uh,
I don't know, man.
all right, I want to.
You put down the concert,
I want to
that's
ask
it.
you.
You're listed.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding, man. Go on. I'm sorry.
concert. I'm waiting for it.
What were you saying? I'm sorry, bro.
There's another poster on Godlike Productions, calling himself Gaia Man, and in off some of everything he's posted, he says that he like will close his eyes and he'll either meditate or he'll dream and have visions of our future. He opened a thread there called "The Future of Your Country?" ? Ask and I will tell you, and it's been open for let's see. I think it's open. It's been open since May of '05, and the last post in this thread is today by an anonymous person. So it's been running for the last 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
But everybody comes on and is asking about their country, and apparently he's answering their questions. And it's been, I guess it's been interesting enough that it's kept people's attention for these 2 years. He's made predictions, but I'll give you the general gist of what he sees for the future is he sees some sort of virus breaking out in the U.S. and he says that it's man-made. It doesn't say where it's from, but he says that a lot of people are sick. He says he sees men in blue helmets. There is sort of a martial law that breaks out in the U.S. that they use these camps. The camps are full. That people are dying from this virus. That the vaccines run out. But he says that shortly after this period of there's actually geophysical stuff going on. He says earthquakes and sort of floods and that sort of stuff. He says that he sees light portals. There are actually portals. I guess there are dimensional portals that are going to open up around the planet. He says they look like sort of the opening to a tunnel, and he says that when these portals open, that people will be able to make a conscious decision to step into them. At that point, they'll be transferred to the fifth dimension. He says that our guides will appear, and we'll talk with guides, and then we'll decide whether we want to go in the portals or we'll be moved to a different 3D planet.
Yep.
I'll tell you a couple. This is where my dreams come in. The first is, he says, from what I've seen, when you enter a portal, it's a journey through a tunnel or some kind of tube system. You'll travel very fast, but have plenty of time to look around. I saw many colors. They were so bright and beautiful. This is like the dreams that I had of moving through those tubes, that tube system.
Wow. That's wild.
I had to highlight that was really strange. He also says
you found your own corroboration.
Yeah, I mean that. Nowhere else have I seen that mentioned, and that those particular dreams don't. I haven't been able to find any sort of corroboration for them. This right here is pretty interesting.
Awesome.
He also says that when this virus breaks out, it's kind of he keeps mentioning the Windy City. So I wonder or he says the City of Wind, and I'm wondering if there's something that happens in Chicago, if it's a dirty bomb or something, but it ends up affecting a large portion of the U.S., and a lot of people will become infected. But he says that people are going to want to close their windows and doors, have enough food and water to remain inside while this stuff passes, and to try to survive either with a vaccine or long enough to see these portals open. But this is another dream that I had, which was I was outside sort of what seemed like an abandoned area. It was like a suburban neighborhood. There were a couple of houses with maybe their windows and doors open. There wasn't really anyone around that I recall, maybe a couple people, but there was like a yellow or a green mist that was moving over the ground. It was like a fog or a mist or something, and it seemed to be covering sort of the landscape. So that's what I immediately thought of when he was talking about this stuff.
Yeah, like, holy shit, Creeping Death. Like the song from Metallica, Creeping Death, that describes, back in the times of Jesus when people put the blood around their doorways or something to keep from that thing that was going around killing all the people. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Shit. Well, if you, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, because that's my path to education, is if you listen to the song "Creeping Death" from Metallica, they basically describe, they call it "Creeping Death," where they said there was the, and then when I looked it up in like because you know there's buzzwords in there that you can look up in the dictionary. It basically talks about that I think Passover.
Okay.
Passover. You know, I think that's exactly what he's talking about. Passover. And he said that the people that didn't stay inside their houses, not the Metallica song, the Passover thing. You know, that historical event that happened where people were just dying in Jerusalem for no reason. And only the people who stayed inside and put blood around their doors and closed their windows and doors stayed alive.
Yeah.
It was like a plague. It's fucking nuts, Bart. So now you're getting your own corroborations, which is pretty awesome.
Well, as far as the virus is concerned, not so much, but you know.
Hey, but listen, Bart, man, I have to go. I have to.
All right.
My wife is waiting for me. We have to go out with the children.
All right. Yeah, I will send you the stuff that I just read, the Gaia Man stuff.
Definitely. I need to be spending more time on Open Minds Forum.
Yeah.
OpenMindsForum.com. And
you can cuss on there.
Yeah. Well, they take the words and change them. If you type shit, it ends up coming out something else. But I'd rather that than the way Above Top Secret does it.
Yeah.
Because Above Top Secret, their moderators are just a bunch of suckers, man. Suckers.
Don't get me banned.
Sorry. Don't ban Bart, you scumbags. You already banned fucking Time Drifter.
All right. Well, sorry you have to go so soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bart. I'm being pressured. You know how it is.
Oh, that's right.
You know.
You wanna talk tomorrow or
Yeah. Yes, I do. Tomorrow we will do another show, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And maybe we can do the 2-hour stretch tomorrow. But we did pretty good today. We were on for an hour and 20.
Yeah, we got a lot in.
Definitely, and I'm sure tonight I'm gonna find plenty of stuff. I don't know. I've been reading Sherpa a lot, to be honest with you, Bart.
Yeah.
So if you want, we'll talk about that tomorrow, or we'll talk about it. We'll just wing it like we always do, man.
Okay.
Word.
Okay, man. Well, have a good night. Say hey to Vanessa.
You got it, Bart, and you have a good night, and you say hi to your girlfriend. I forgot her name.
I will. And then any message for everybody listening?
Be prepared, people. Be prepared. And we're gonna fucking and you're right, Bart. I was listening to that interview. We got to learn it in every language.
Okay.
We got to figure it out. I'm sure there's somewhere on the internet where we can find out where to hear those words and how to pronounce them.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
I'll compile a list
too,
and I'll send it to you, and maybe you can post it on your site.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Bart, man. I'll catch you later, brother. Let me go, and have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, man. Later.